Welcome to Pass Review. In this video, we will be taking a deep dive into Dead Cells, a fast-paced roguelite action platformer by Motion Twin that has become one of my favorite games. Dead Cells has been on Xbox Game Pass for Xbox and PC since September 5th, 2019, and with a small download size of just 1.12 gigabytes on PC and 1.4 gigabytes on Xbox, it is definitely worth trying. In Dead Cells, you play as an undead prisoner fighting his way through a plagued castle to take down the king. Here's the catch. If you die, you start over. However, after dozens of deaths and over 40 hours played between the Xbox Series X and Nintendo Switch, the gameplay has yet to get old. Each playthrough starts you in the prisoner's quarters biome, where you are given a random choice of starter weapons out of the weapons you have thus far unlocked. From each biome, you are given the choice of 2 to 3 other biomes to progress to next, so you can take a different route to the king each time. Each biome has its own types of enemies that spawn there, with each progressing biome getting more and more challenging. Different routes also lead to different bosses. Even if you do have a favorite route that you take each time, biomes are procedurally generated and unique each time you play through them. Once you do defeat the final boss, you're given the choice to increase the difficulty and try it again, with some biomes and enemies only becoming available on higher difficulties. Not only are there a variety of biomes and enemies to keep the gameplay fresh, but there are also dozens of unique abilities and weapons to unlock. Even after beating the final boss multiple times, I've only unlocked a fraction of the weapons in the game. The weapons in Dead Cells are half the fun, and the game can be played with the intent of unlocking weapons and experimenting with them, rather than strictly trying to reach the final boss every time. Each weapon does critical damage based on different criteria, such as by hitting multiple enemies at the same time, or by hitting an enemy against a wall. Because what weapons you find will be different each playthrough allows you to try different playstyles and experiment with different weapon combinations. Even if you do find 2 of the same weapon, each weapon has attributes that are also randomly generated, meaning one infantry bow you find may grant bonus damage against poison enemies, while another may grant bonus damage against bleeding enemies. Finding weapons that work perfectly together, such as one that causes poison damage and another that does bonus damage to poison enemies, is very satisfying and rewarding. What weapons you stick with during each playthrough is not entirely left to chance, but also requires strategy. Weapons and abilities are sorted into 3 categories: brutality, tactics, and survival. As you explore each biome, you will come across scrolls that allow you to choose one of these 3 categories to level up. Weapons within each category become more powerful as you apply scrolls to those categories. If you have mostly been leveling up brutality, but come across a higher tier tactical weapon, you may make the choice to switch to the tactical weapon even though it will be temporarily weaker due to having a lower tactics level. But it has the potential to become stronger once you find enough scrolls to increase your tactics skill level. Choices like these can be risky and potentially pay off, or they could get you killed and sent back to the start. Sometimes, dying and start again can itself be enjoyable, as you have a new opportunity with different weapons that you may not have had unlocked yet in a previous playthrough, or you were already too invested in another playstyle to use. Weapons in Dead Cells are unlocked by first finding a blueprint for the weapon and unlocking the weapon using cells. These are gained from killing enemies. Bonus cells can be earned after most biomes by either reaching that point under a certain time limit or by defeating a specific number of enemies without taking any damage, further incentivizing different playstyles. Overall, Dead Cells is a joy to play whether you just have a few minutes to slice your way through a single biome or a couple hours to fight to the final boss. The fast-paced action is extremely rewarding whether you focus on speedrunning or being an untouchable badass. That about sums it up. Again, the download size is small, so it doesn't hurt much to try it out if you have the time. If you like action games that make you feel powerful, but also present a challenge, this game is perfect for you. There's also a lot to unpack in Game Pass, so let's help each other out. Comment what games you think we should cover next, and subscribe to keep on the lookout for our next video.